Hello, race fans. My name is Brad Luce, and thanks for joining us. It has been 5 weeks since our H1 Unlimited E-League drivers took to the water in virtual competition. The scene in early June was Madison, Indiana, where Kelsey Best claimed a Gold Cup victory for the hometown folks in the Miss Home Street. Prior to that, Quentin Miller scored a victory in the season opener in Guntersville, Alabama. The racing has been so competitive, neither of our two race winners are atop the National High Points leaderboard. At least for right now, that honor belongs to HydroSim creator Scott Przybylski and the U9, the Delta Real track. Only 201 points separate our top 4 H1 Unlimited E-League drivers. Today, we travel virtually out west to Tri-Cities, Washington on the Columbia River, where it flows past the communities of Pasco, Richland, and Kennewick. It's race number 3 on the H1 Unlimited E-League racing circuit, and our drivers are anxious to get back on the water. My broadcast partner again today is Mr. Jeff Ayler, coming to us from high atop Rikers Ridge in Madison, Indiana. And Jeff, our E-League drivers find themselves on the Columbia River today in eastern Washington. It is one of the true gems on the circuit. I guess my first question, Jeff, is will we see our third winner in as many races today?
Brad Luce, good afternoon. Great working with you once again. I think we will have a third winner in this E-League H1 Unlimited Series. The qualifying has ended. We have 11 boats, 11 drivers. The top qualifier is Cy Bowen in the Go3 Racing. Griggs presents Miss Ace Hardware at 163.129 miles per hour. We go down to the number 11 boat, which is Travis Johnson in the J&Ds at 161.029. The field was within 2 miles per hour of each other. Brad, anyone could win. If I had my handicapping sheet out here, I would be in disarray right now.
Yeah, I don't think we've ever seen a qualifying ladder that compressed. But what it means is what we've seen already on this E-League circuit. It means the boats are very competitive. There is a lot of parity. And to your opening statement, anyone can win this particular race today. You mentioned we have 11 boats. Previously, we were running a full field of 12 boats. The one we are missing is the U10, the Spirit of Detroit, with Peyton Hopp behind the wheel. He will not be able to join us today, having a prior commitment. So we'll run with 11 boats here on the Columbia River. We will run, this is the big race course, Jeff. It's a 2.5-mile course, and the river is just wide enough to where we can run a full 6 on the front row. So we'll have 6 boats in our A section of each heat and 5 in our B section. We will run 3 heats of racing, heats 1, 2, and 3. Those will be 3 laps in duration, and then we'll take the 6 boats with the highest amount of points, put them on the water for a winner-take-all 5-lap final. There will be a trailer boat today, and that boat will be the winner of a provisional heat, and they will trail the field across the start-finish line. However we want to talk about it, this sets up to be a really, really good day of racing.
And I'm looking forward to it. 2.5-mile race course, Columbia River. It is the virtual track. Looking forward to working with you. This will be my first crack at calling some the Columbia River. So you've done it many times. The front chute, of course, on the Kennewick side. They'll go into turn number 1. We'll refer to it as turn 1 or the Big Blue Bridge turn. And up the Pasco side of the virtual Columbia River, approaching turn 2 in front of Rattlesnake Mountain. You've been there many times for real. This is a driver's track. It's quick. You have to know what you're doing.
You do have to know what you're doing, and just about the time you think you have this course figured out, that lower corner, turn 1, the Blue Bridge turn, as you mentioned, that one can snap up and bite you in a hurry. It can get mighty rough down there. You talked a little bit about our qualifiers, and our top qualifier being Cy Bowen in the Griggs Presents Ace Hardware. How about that for the fans here in the Tri-Cities? Local sponsorship on the piston-powered boat. You know who the fans are going to be rooting for when we get ready to go racing.
Virtual Turbinator has lots of fanfare across the world today at 163, 129, and young man that qualified second. I remembered when he was born. He's 17 years of age now. Eddie Canfush in the 99.9 bucket list Miss Rock checked in second quick at 162.835, and Following Facebook from these first two E-League races, Mickey Washburn seems to be a fan favorite. He's third quick, and the Darrell Strong presents Payne West Insurance at 162.596. I'm ready.
I'm ready too. The fans are starting to identify with our E-League drivers. That's always a good thing. But let's take this opportunity right now to thank our sponsors for today's event. And we'd like to lead off with the fine folks at Staples. Staples off the Newport Highway in Spokane, your one-stop shop for all your home office needs. Jesse's Stitches, custom embroidery and more in Snohomish, Washington since 1990, and Atomic Screen Printing, a leading Northwest producer of high-quality screen-printed and embroidered products since 1998, would like to welcome the folks from Spokane Angels Foster Care Community. Joining us on the broadcast today, we're glad to have them on board. Thank you to Spokane Angels. They've been providing outstanding foster care services in the Spokane area. With that, Jeff Ayler, I think we are ready to go boat racing. The only thing we have to do before we do that is have our heat draws. And so let's get right to that now. And doing the honors of drawing for our heats 1A and 1B, let's welcome Andrew Tate.
My name's Andrew Tate, and thank you for coming to the gun show. I'm just kidding, but disclaimer, this is take 3 of me drawing these golf balls out of this bag to bring you the official heat draw 1A and 1B of stop number 3 in Tri-Cities on the H1 E-League circuit. So, I've got this little pin. Whenever I'm drawing from heat 1A, it's going to be over here. 1B, I'm going to move it over here just to get this over with, and you guys can enjoy some racing. So, heat 1A will be Sergey Fedorov. 1B, the 6. 1A, the 9. Look at that. We got a little heart on there for you. Because I like that one. 1B. The 3. Piston power. 1A. The 98. 1B, the bright number 11. 1A, Wayne Gretzky. 1B, Spirit of Detroit. Number 7, though. Let's not mess this up again. 1A. The 21. 1B. 440. 1A. There's only 2 left, so I did it right this time. The Winston Eagle. 1B, last but not least, the 12. Thanks for joining us today, and I hope everyone has a good time, a safe race, and beat that blue boat.
Thank you very much, Andrew Tate, for doing the draws there of our heats 1A and 1B. And Jeff Ayler, now we know who's going to come out and go racing. Just a little added note here. Andrew Tate did draw the U10, the Spirit of Detroit, into the racing today with Peyton Hopp. But as we said at the top of the show, Peyton will not be joining us today. So only 11 boats and not those 12.
Unfortunately, Peyton won't be able to join us because Brad, he's real racing today, car racing at Evergreen Speedway out in the Pacific Northwest. So we wish him well there. We hope to see him next time when the E-League drivers get ready here with H1 Unlimited.
Absolutely. He's one of the best. Of course, as we said again at the top of the show, these are the 12 best hydro sim drivers on the planet. And the first indication we got of that was that tightly bunched qualifying ladder. We're going to see the same thing today on the race course. Our 6 boats that are going to come out in our Heat 1A are the U9, the Delta Real Track, with the race creator, Scott Przybylski, doing the honors. The U12, Graham Trucking, Quentin Miller. He was our winner down in Guntersville, Jeff. He's going to be joined by the Darrell Strong presents Payne West Insurance, Mickey Washburn. Mickey had a really strong showing in Guntersville at our first race. Going to be joined by the 91, Miss Goodman Real Estate, Tim Johnson. The 98, Graham Trucking American Dream, Matt Johnson. And as we've come to call him, Fast Eddie Canfoosh, driving the 99.9 Bucket List Miss Rock. Just waiting for a countdown, Jeff, and we'll be ready to go. And we are just being told now we are inside 10 seconds to the 5-minute mark. It's Heat 1A on the Columbia River. 3, 2, 1, mark. Jeff, there it was. We are inside 5 minutes to the start of Heat 1A, our first heat of racing here on the Columbia River. As always in the Tri-Cities, the racing conditions are absolutely ideal, and it is always quite a sight to see 6 H1 Unlimited hydroplanes come away from the dock in the Neil F. Lamson pit area. And that's what we've got on the water. They're coming out, Jeff. Run down again who our boats will be in our Heat 1A.
Thank you very much, Brad Luce. We're on board with Eddie Canfoosh, age 17, out of Grand Island, New York. He pilots the 99.9 Bucket List Miss Rock, the dominant orange with the black trim. Our first of 6 boats here in Unlimited 1A in Tri-Cities, Washington. We're now on board with Mickey Washburn, age 41, out of Pasco, Washington, driving the Darrell Strong presents Payne West Insurance entry. Next boat will be the red, white, and blue. That is the 98 Graham Trucking American Dream. Matt Johnson chauffeurs out of Renton, Washington, 29-year-old, looking for success here today on the Columbia River. Our 4th entry coming up is our game creator, Scott Przybylski, age 34, out of San Diego, California, driving the dominant white with the red and yellow trim. It's the number 9 Delta Real Track. Our 5th entrant in Unlimited 1A, red and black, Graham Trucking, the number 12, driven by 25-year-old Clinton Miller out of Mercer Island, Washington. Clinton is a professional bowler. His father, PBA professional, the lefty, Hugh Miller. Our 6th boat, black and gold, it's the number 91, Miss Goodman Real Estate, driven by Richland, Washington's Tim Johnson. Tim, 23 years of age. Brad, he goes into battle here in Unlimited 1A against his brother, Matt Johnson. You've known the Johnson brothers since they've been tykes, helping restore the 1967 Miss Budweiser at Harm.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun. Got to know those kids when they were very, very young. Then I lost track of where they were for many years, and then they showed up in the pit area one time, and oh my goodness, these kids grew up and they are very large, much larger than I am. That was kind of fun. Want to make our fans aware of one important note here. If you've been watching some of our Drivers Invitational racing on the same platform, today with our E-League series, if a boat goes over, if one of our drivers blows his boat over, if in the eyes of the referee the boat actually went upside down, that boat is disqualified from that heat. So there's no resets and restarts here in the E-League Racing Series, Jeff.
Preliminary heats are 3-lap. The last chance heat will be a 3-lapper. The winner-take-all final later today here in the E-League Series with H1 Unlimited will be 5 laps. It is the traditional 2.5-mile track here on the Columbia River in Tri-City, Washington. You know this place very well. Kennewick is on the front chute, Pasco on the back chute. Lanes 1, 2, and 3 very critical here. You want to be at the line with a lot of speed behind that start-finish line buoy at 0, and you want to be at full tilt heading down to turn 1.
Guys are getting set up for that 1 minute buoy, Jeff. Watch them.
One looks to be pretty legal right now as we're coming up. There's the 1 minute period. By my eye, everyone was behind that 1 minute period. Clean score up for our officials, and leading the field up the back straightaway. That's Matt Johnson in the 98, followed by Quentin Miller. Now Miller swung to the outside wake of Johnson. But right now, Brad Luce, it appears Matt Johnson has a good stake at lane number 1, but you have to have your lane established prior to the exit pin, or prior to the entrance pin at turn number 2 here on the Columbia.
Which they have already gone by, and that was a great move by Matt Johnson because he was able to come off the lower corner at the 1 minute mark. He was able to leapfrog to the left, having enough overlap. He went from lane 3 to lane 1. We are coming up on 15 seconds. These guys are early. Jeff Ayler, let's start our racing on the Columbia River. You're inside 10 seconds. Start our boat race.
Might watch the boats to the outside. Inside or early. We're 2 on mark. Appears to be a clean start, and wow, Mickey Washburn with a flyer. Scott Przybylski is a gun jumper in the number 9 Delta Reel Track. We fly into turn number 1 here on the Columbia River. Matt Johnson to the inside. Mickey Washburn on his outside. Eddie Canfield further out. We come off turn number 1, Brad. It's Johnson in the lead with Washburn chasing in second.
Scott Przybylski flipped the 9 just at the entrance pin to the lower corner, so he is out of it. We are down to a 5-boat run, and up the backstretch it is Matt Johnson driving at 98. He made the great move to get that inside lane, and so far he has been able to hold off the competition, but he's got a right side rear view mirror that is full of Mickey Washburn. In the 21, Darrell Strong presents Payne West Insurance. We go 3 times around, Jeff. They're coming down to put the first one in the book. So far it's all Matt Johnson.
Complete, 2 to go. Johnson showing the short way around in front in the red, white, and blue. Mickey Washburn had that great start, but was out in lane number 5, is in second. Darrell Strong, Payne West Insurance entry. But Washburn's going to have competition here with Fast Eddie Canfoosh in third in the bucket list Miss Rock. Quentin Miller in the 4th position, but Tim Johnson in 5th. Brad, we're halfway through it. It's Matt Johnson in front. Washburn and Canfoosh still chasing.
Yeah, the race right now is back for second place right there on your screen. It is Fast Eddie Canfoosh trying to run down Mickey Washburn. Meanwhile, out front, Matt Johnson still got everything going his way in the red, white, and blue 98 Graham Trucking American Dream. He is off the corner. Matt Johnson. Now, here comes our second and third place boats. Mickey Washburn still so far able to hold off Fast Eddie, but you know Fast Eddie's not going to give up, Jeff. He's going to keep coming.
2 complete, 1 to go. Matt Johnson clearly out in front of the Graham Trucking American Dream. Here's your race for second place and 300 points. Mickey Washburn to your right in the 21, holding that position, swinging outside. Oh, he does a little hip check there on Eddie Canfoosh in the bucket list Miss Rock. Johnson in front. Your race is for second. Quentin Miller trying to come up the inside wake of Washburn in 4th to make up ground. Had half a lap to go. Johnson in front. Matt, that is.
Yeah, Quentin Miller's trying to come up and gain some ground here in our second and third place boat, but he's running in some really rough water on an inside lane. Meanwhile, our leader is at the apex of the top corner. Last time around, he'll come down to pick up the checkered flag, bring home our apparent winner in our Heat 1A, Matt Johnson in the 98.
Matt Johnson crosses the start-finish line buoy, gets those 400 points in first in Unlimited 1A. Mickey Washburn had a battle, but will get the 300 in second in the Darrell Strong Payne West Insurance entry. Eddie Canfoosh in third, and the bucket list Miss Rock. Quentin Miller will get 4th. Graham Trucking and Tim Johnson will come across in the 5th position in the Goodman Real Estate. Brad, Columbia River, it was lightning quick. Boy, what a run by Matt Johnson.
My name's Andrew Tate.
Mickey Washburn, watch him later on today. An inside lane, he could be real tough.
He could be very, very tough. And we mentioned at the outset here, before we got started, right when we came on the air, we talked about the national high points and how only 200 points separated our first 4 boats from each other. Our leader was Scott Przybylski, the driver of the 9, the Delta Reel Track. He just scored a goose egg in our Heat 1A. That is going to shuffle the deck in the national high point standings. A lot of racing left to go.
And joining us in the announcer's booth is our winner of Unlimited 1A, Matt Johnson. Matt, congratulations. Great run. Tell us how you got the job done.
Well, thank you. That was, I can tell you, it doesn't matter how many times you do this, you're still going to feel the nerves when you're, when you're racing. But yeah, that was, I mean, just practicing that leapfrog, I think has helped a lot, and just nailing that start. So that was, Matt, I got to give credit to Jeff Bernard. He was in my ear telling me I had overlap for that leapfrog, so that was key.
Matt, Brad Luce here, and I wanted to talk about that leapfrog. That was a heck of a move. I think you went from lane 3, maybe 4, but all the way to the inside. You mentioned having enough overlap and being able to move over. The other piece to that puzzle is the perfect timing at that 1-minute score-up buoy.
Yep. Just been doing a lot of practice, knowing exactly when to get it going so I can hit that buoy with as much speed as possible right when it hits a minute. So
I don't have to tell you about boat racing, but in the preliminary heats, it is all about garnering points, and more points to make sure you're on the front row of that final. You just took a big step, my friend. 400 points. Congratulations. You're the winner of our Heat 1A.
Thank you very much. I definitely need those points. So
we'll look for you later on down the road, Matt. Have a good rest of the day.
All right. Thank you.
Jeff Ayler, he's a man of a few words, but I think he was pretty happy with the win.
Well, Brad, to make Matt feel better, and he won't be able to hear us right now, but hey, I was nervous too. I was excited to get the day going, and that's a big 400 for him. You could tell in his voice that he wanted the 400, and really good radio man here. Jeff Bernard knows how to get lane 1, not only virtually, but real. And, Brad, Jeff Bernard, as far as a Gold Cup spotter, he has quite a record spotting as well with the real unlimited hydroplanes.
He has experience doing it on many, many different levels. Always good to have Jeff Bernard involved in our racing. All right, we are about ready for the countdown to the 5-minute mark of our Heat 1B. Racing here on the Columbia River. We'll have 5 boats in our Heat 1B, and we are inside 5 seconds. We're 2 seconds, 1 mark. 5 minutes to the start of our Heat 1B. Top qualifier is going to come out with this one. We're also going to have our winner last time these boats raced, and it was the Gold Cup in Madison, Indiana. It most certainly is a familiar sight. I was looking at my sheet. I didn't look up. I have that photo on my wall, as a matter of fact, of the boats coming out of the pit area I mentioned in the first heat. It's a great sight. Jeff Ayler, we got to get you out there up on top of the pit tower so you can take a look at that when they come away. It is breathtaking in a bright afternoon sun.
I'm well overdue to come back. I've been there twice in 1988 and 1992, so we'll see what 2021 brings. Maybe a Rikers Ridge can venture back out to Columbia River, but we'll go over our lineup here for Unlimited 1B. We're on board with Bo Rarick, 27 years of age, out of Monroe, Washington, driving the Bucket List Racing. Bo has some import driving experience with John Rifles E226. Next boat, here is your top qualifier. It's the Virtual Turbinator. Cy Bowen, 17 years of age, out of Plymouth, Indiana, driving the Go 3 Racing. Briggs presents Miss Ace Hardware, checked in at 163.129 miles per hour. You can see that Virtual Turbinator getting cycled up here for Unlimited 1B. Our third participant, Dominant Red with the blue and white striping, is the Spirit of Detroit, the number 7. DJ Miller chauffeurs out of Mercer Island, Washington. DJ, 22 years of age, the brother of Quentin Miller back in 1A. Our fourth boat, the Home Street blue and white, driven by Kelsey Best out of Mesa, Arizona. Kelsey, 33 years of age, has some 1-liter inboard hydroplane experience. Kelsey Best won the virtual E-League Gold Cup weeks ago in Madison. And our 5th participant, Chartreuse and Carnival Orange, 2 rooms down from me, Travis Johnson out of Madison, Indiana, driving the J&Ds. Travis, 36 years of age, body shop connoisseur with Dean's Collision Center in Madison, Indiana. Travis has hydro fever. Brad, I've known him since he's been a baby as well. I know his parents nearby, Jan and Joe, are feverishly watching here this afternoon.
And family and friends are definitely rooting their favorite boats on as we're approaching 2 minutes until the start. We talk about people watching the racing and getting excited. Want to give a shout out to my favorite watch party that happens every weekend in Oklahoma City, Edmond, Oklahoma to be specific. A bunch of people watching on a big screen by the pool. We hope they are enjoying themselves. 150 until the start, 150, and now we'll start to see those boats set up at the entrance to the lower corner as they start fighting for that inside lane and trolling. A reminder to the fans, Jeff, the boats cannot pass the exit pin of turn 1. That's the entrance pin right there, but the one right across the water from it on the backstretch, they cannot cross that buoy prior to the 1 minute mark.
And up on the 120 mark, that is DJ Miller right there. And nope, up above there's Travis Johnson.
Yep.
Would like to get the 1 lane in the J&Ds. Brad, I'll bring him up 1 minute period. Travis in 1. DJ Miller will go to the 2 lane. Your top qualifier, Cy Bowen, will go to the outside, it appears. Everyone legal at the 1 minute period. Now you have to have your lane established prior to the entrance pin of turn number 2. Travis Johnson in good position right now for lane number 1. DJ Miller in front of him. Kelsey Best in the Home Street blue and white. Brad, our top qualifier, the youngster, 17 years of age, Cy Bowen, will start in an outside lane sequence. 35 seconds away. Brad, set the lanes.
Well, you just had him there, and you did a great call of it there. You've got the 11 J&Ds, Travis Johnson. He was able to defend lane 1 all the way up the backstretch. Nicholas DJ Miller was able to hold on to lane 2. Kelsey Best is in 3. Cy Bowen's going to be in 4. And then on the outside should be Bo Rarig in the orange 440. Coming up on 10 seconds, Jeff, to the start of our Heat 1B.
Rarig could have a smoker on the outside of the bucket list for 3, 2, 1. Mark, it appears to be clean. We're racing. Oh, the 4. Kelsey Best is over and out in the home street. Lane start for Tate Meyer. We fly into turn number 1 here on the Columbia River. Travis Johnson on the inside in J&Ds. Cy Bowen in 2nd. DJ Miller tucked between them. Bo Rarig in 4th. Brad Luce off the corner. Madison's Travis Johnson in front of J&D's, but he's got company on the outside.
He's got a lot of company, and he's got a lot of red in that right side rear view mirror. DJ Miller came through that lower corner the last time, driving down a hallway. He's in a tough spot right there, but look at Cy Bowen on the outside. He's going to pull up alongside Travis. Now Travis opens up a couple of boat lengths due to the fact he's on that inside line, but there is a lot of speed in that U3 Greg's Ace Hardware. Cy Bowen not giving up, Jeff.
Come down to complete lap number 1 of 3. Johnson in front. He was your 11th qualifier. Bowen in 2nd, your top qualifier. That is how competitive it is here in Tri-Cities, Washington for the E-League pilots in H1 Unlimited Racing with the E-League. Johnson in front now. DJ Miller trying to make up ground in 2nd. Johnson in front. Bowen in 2nd, but here comes Miller up in 3rd. We're halfway through 1B. Brad Johnson in front, but it could get dicey for 2nd.
Yeah, it could really get dicey. DJ Miller is driving the daylights out of his boat. He does not have a lot of water to work with. He's driving between 2 of them, and he's got to hold his lane in there. If he goes to the inside, he gets wet. If he slides out wide, he gets wet. But our leader's off the corner, ready to come down and put 2 in the books. It's Travis Johnson, and we're virtually dead even right now for 2nd place, Jeff. Bring down and put 2 in the books.
Side by side dueling for second. Travis Johnson clearly in front. 2 complete, 1 to go in the J&Ds. Cy Bowen flying the virtual Turbinator in second. DJ Miller trying to make up ground on the inside. The 2 red boats battling for 300 points. Travis Johnson trying to hang on to get 400 in the J&Ds. Johnson in front. Bowen still in second. Brad Miller is right there. They're side by side.
This is going to be a whale of a run to the finish line here because this is the checkered flag lap. We are on number 3, way out front. It is Travis Johnson. The race is for second place. Our top qualifier, the Griggs presents Ace Hardware Shy Bowen. He is in second place right now, but he's got company on the inside with DJ Miller, and he's been there the entire heat. This is going to be close. Our winner, Travis, comes down to pick up the checkered flag. Jeff Ayler, who's going to get second?
Travis Johnson wins 1B. Here's your battle for second. Miller, Bowen, Miller.
Oh, goodness.
A heater.
Jeff, a heater. Wow.
Bowen, second place in the Griggs Hardware. DJ Miller in the 3rd position. O'Reilly will get the spot. And unfortunately, Kelsey Best had that accident right at the start of Unlimited 1B. Brad, what a run by Travis Johnson, and a heater for second in virtual racing, just like Detroit.
Yeah, I'm sure there's a lot of people who are going, what is a heater? That's the same thing I did many years ago when Jeff yelled that in my ear. Jeff, why don't you take 10 seconds and explain a heater to those who may not know what it is?
A heater in thoroughbred racing, and 2 horses' nose come to the line when they get to the wire. When the photo's taken, it's a dead heat. If they finish that way, they've always called it just a heater. And thanks to Greg Kreischer in Detroit that year, Brad, at the hotel, he knew what a heater was. My only person there could back me up.
I had 500 people atop the pit tower looking at me going, what in the world is a heater? That was good stuff right there. And great racing here today. Just absolutely outstanding. We will get a word with our winner here in just a moment or two. We'll have him come up and join us. But boy, the racing has not disappointed on any level so far today, Jeff Ayler.
He's excited back there. He is. Travis Johnson, 2 rooms down from me. Congratulations. What a run in 1B.
Man, I appreciate it, guys. That was a heck of a run right there. I really appreciate taking a chance to run with these guys, man. This is the best group of guys that's ever ran this game. Like, even from the time that Scott started this thing, man, there is some serious competition out here, and I ain't got anything more than respect for them. But you know, it's crazy. I didn't even think I was going to have a chance to win a heat, but here we go.
Travis, Brad Luce here. Let me first of all say thank you for allowing our Mr. Ayler to come over and join you. Again, I hope he brought food and beverage with him this time. If not, you need to train him a little better. But secondly, and back to the actual racing itself, you were out front the whole time, but you had an awful lot of bright red in that right side rearview mirror.
Man, I sure did. I had a lot of red on the outside for 2 lanes. I mean, you got DJ out there and you got Cy. And man, both of those 2 guys are so fast. I'm just extremely thankful for my spotter, Ben. Man, me and him have been working all week long on stuff. Me, him, Jamie, my brother, a couple other buddies. You know, we're just trying to get better and better. But if it wasn't for them, I wouldn't be half as good at making that start right there. So I definitely want to thank Staples, you know, for coming on board. Spokane Angels Foster Care Facility. They came on for sponsorship for this race, and we really appreciate them. And obviously J&Ds. I mean, Wes and Bernie at J&Ds. They're such great sponsors for the U11, and we really appreciate everything that they do.
Well, Travis, thank you very much for what you do and your part in this game. And you were just a part of some of the best racing we've seen. But we say that almost every time you guys hit the water. But for you personally and the J&Ds in your Heat 1B, it's 400 points. That's a big step toward finding your way in the final. We'll look forward to talking to you later on in the day. But good luck. Keep it going, Travis.
All right, we'll do. Thanks a lot, guys. And also thanks to Scott and Shannon Rainey. It's quite a unique opportunity. So thanks, guys.
Absolutely. Travis Johnson, the winner of our Heat 1B, driving the U11 J&Ds. He mentioned a couple of our sponsors, Jeff Ayler. Let's take an opportunity now to thank a couple more of our sponsors before we get with the heat draws for our second heats of racing, 2A and 2B. Want to take this opportunity to thank once again the folks who have been doing custom embroidery and so much more in Snohomish, Washington since 1990. They have been at it for 30 years. They do a great job. It is the fine folks at Jesse's Stitches, Snohomish, Washington. And a name that boat racing fans know all over the country. They're based in Kennewick, Washington, Atomic Screen Printing. They have been, since 1998, a leading Northwest producer of high-quality screen-printed and embroidered products since that time. And they not only can do the screen printing and the embroidery, they have an outstanding artistic staff on the payroll there, and they do some fabulous work. And if you know you want something developed for you, but you don't have the artistic flair, get a hold of those folks at Atomic, especially if it has to do with hydroplane racing. So good racing, Jeff Ayler, but I think we're going to step away right now. We're going to go to our Heat 2 draw, and doing the honors for us, calling out Heats 2A and 2B, we'll welcome Dave Vilwalk and Mike Lemler. Super Dave.
Hi, I'm Dave Vilwalk. It's a privilege to be here for the H1 Unlimited E-League draw for Heat 2A and 2B. Should be fun to see this whole thing. So here goes. Heat 2A, 21. Heat 2B, U7. Heat 2A, 12. Heat 2B, 9. Heat 2A, 98. Heat 2B, 91. And then the 440 in 2A. Heat 2B, 6. Heat 2A, the 3. Heat 2B, the 99.9. Heat 2A, the 11. And that does it. Should be fun to watch.
Our thanks to Mike Lemler and Dave Vilwalk for doing the honors of drawing the boats into our Heats 2A and 2B. We will later on today run Heats 3A and 3B before we get to our provisional and the final. One last comment, Jeff Ayler, with regards to our Heat 1B and that tremendous boat race that we saw there for second place between Cy Bowen and Nicholas DJ Miller. The officials have gone back and looked at the tape, and they have determined it was a 1/10 of a second difference between the two boats.
Oh.
And you know what? I think they're being generous. I think it was tighter than that. I can tell you it was too close to call on the air, thus your heater comment. That was something special. I enjoyed it.
Well, if a 1/10 of a second is a half a coat of paint, referring to great childhood friend Brad Chan Chilton came up with a half a coat of paint to be in a junior bowling league. When one would slip by a single pin, he said, You just missed it by half a coat of paint. I miss him so much.
Never heard that one. I've heard an extra coat of paint, but never half a coat of paint. So that's pretty good. Well, so we've got our boats ready to go in our Heat 2A. We'll have 6 of them on the water. And we are just waiting for a countdown for Heat 2A. We are just told in our ears, Jeff, that we're inside 10 seconds to the start. 3 seconds, 2, 1, mark. 5 minutes to the start of Heat 2A. Talking about Cy Bowen in that last heat. We're going to see him out here in this one. Cy Bowen, Travis Johnson, Quentin Miller, Mickey Washburn, Matt Johnson, and Bo Rarig will round out the 6-boat field. And again, there's that wonderful sight taken from atop of the pit tower, which is just up from the docks and up from the Blue Bridge. Jeff Ayler, you were supposed to be out there in a couple of weeks joining me on the broadcast. Who knows? It may still happen this year, and for sure we're going to make it happen in 2021. Run down our boats in Heat 2A, Jeff.
Thank you, Brad. We're on board with Cy Bowen out of Plymouth, Indiana, driving the Griggs presents Miss Ace Hardware. Cy finished second back in 1B. Our second boat in Unlimited 2A, Quentin Miller in the number 12 Graham Trucking. Clinton had a 4th place finish back in 1A. Looking for our third entrant, there is the red, white, and blue, the number 98 Graham Trucking American Dream, driven by Matt Johnson. Matt won our Heat 1A earlier this afternoon. 4th entry here in Unlimited 2A is Mickey Washburn, and the Darrell Strong presents Payne West Insurance entry. Mickey was second in 1A. Our 5th participant, coming off that splendid 1B victory moments ago, Travis Johnson out of Madison, driving the J&D's number 11. Our final entrant in Unlimited 2A, Bucket List Racing 440, driven by Bo Rarig. Bo was 4th back in 1B. So, Brad, we've got Matt Johnson, Travis Johnson, no relation that I know. We've got our heat winners in here from 1A and 1B, and we're looking for an exciting Unlimited 2A coming up here in 2 minutes, 50 seconds.
I hope Cy Bowen, driving the U3, the Griggs Ace Hardware, has had a chance to catch his breath after the exciting finish that we had. And look at these guys parking down here in the lower corner. Jeff, I've still got 2.5 minutes until the start, means a minute and a half before they can go past that exit pin of that lower corner and be legal with the score up. They're down there mighty early.
One that was there real early is at the other end of the house where my broadcast location is. Travis Johnson down there quickly. Lots of time to kill. You have to have your boat behind the exit pin of turn number 1 prior to the start in the warm-up period to be a legal starter. And then, Brad, the fun begins down in turn number 2 and that pin at where you have to have your lane established.
That is correct. You have to be legal with the 1-minute gun at the exit pin of turn 1. You can still change lanes up the backstretch, but whichever lane you are in when you go by the entrance pin to turn 2 at the top end of the race course, that is the lane you must hold all the way to the start-finish line. Jeff, quickly, we talked a little bit about leapfrogging. The way the rule reads, or basically the easiest way to watch the rule, is in order to move over and in front of a boat that is trailing you on the inside, you must have at least a full rooster tail. Jeff, set him into that lower corner and watch that 1-minute mark.
We'll look for the shot above as we're 1 minute and 15 seconds until the start. It's Travis Johnson. You see him right on the buoy rowing the J&Ds by Quentin Miller, Bo Rarig, Matt Johnson. Everyone legal at 1 minute. Travis Johnson in 1. I'm sorry, that is Quentin Miller in the 2 lane. Bo Rarig in 3. I don't expect any leapfrogs, Brad. Oh boy, I look for a doozy start on this one. Take him up into turn 2, set those lanes.
Yeah, I think Matt Johnson was going to try and move over with a leapfrog like he did in the first heat, but he was unable to get enough overlap there. So now all of a sudden, everybody held their lanes. They defended all the way up the backstretch. They ran hard to do so, but now they find themselves at the top end of the race course very, very early. We still have 20 seconds until the start. The inside lane is going to go to Travis Johnson. Lane 2 is going to go to Quentin Miller in the 12 Graham Trucking. Then it is going to be the bright orange boat. Bo Rarig's going to be in 3. It's going to be Matt Johnson in 4. We're 5 seconds. Jeff, bring them down.
2, 1, mark, and we're racing.
Matt.
Got 2 gun jumpers, Matt Johnson and Cy Bowen, that I referred to earlier as DJ Miller in the warm-up. I apologize for that. So we look to the inside. Bo Rarig is your leader in the bucket list. Bo Rarig in front. Quentin Miller in the second position. Matt Johnson running physically second is a lap down. Wild erratic alignment, Brad, as they go into turn 2, but Rarig clearly out in front in the bucket list.
There's a lot of orange way out front. Bo Rarig took command of this thing right off the start, and he's got at least half a rooster tail right now on Quentin Miller. Quentin's going to try and run him down. And then on the outside, you got Matt Johnson in the red, white, and blue 98. Graham Trucking American Dream. They are off the top end of the race course. Still a good race. It's open for anybody right now. It's the first lap of our Heat 2A.
Incomplete, 2 to go. Boy, Bo Rarig would love these 400 after finishing 4th in Unlimited 1B, and Quentin Miller would like these 300. He was your 4th place finisher in 1A. This is how competitive this E-League field is here in Tri-Cities. Rarig in front, Miller in second, Cy Bowen in the 3rd position, and Travis Johnson in the 4th spot. Brad, we're halfway through it. Rarig looking super sharp in front.
He is looking real sharp in front. Now notice he does not have a full rooster tail lead on the second place boat, Quentin Miller, so he can't move over. So he has to leave a lane through the corner here. Watch his line, and clearly he is leaving enough room in there for Quentin Miller. And because of it, Quentin's able to tighten up a little bit on him. That inside lane paying some dividends. Coming down to put 2 in the book and a white flag with 1 lap to go, Jeff.
White flag displayed, 2 complete, 1 more to go. Bo Rarig in front in the Tennessee Orange Bucket List Racing. We're on board with Quentin Miller, your 2nd place boat in the Graham Trucking. Rarig in front of him. Miller crocks it to the left. You see, but Rarig leaving a lane in there, driving Miller clean. And to close up here on the final lap, and Brad, he's in a little bit of a wash there, half a lap to go. Miller running out of time in 2nd.
Yeah, he is running out of time. Rarig is driving him real clean. The rule says you've got to give him a lane, and there is a way that is defined, and he's giving him 1 lane plus 1 inch, no more. He's being a good, clean driver, but he's not giving him any more than he has to. 1 more time he's got to do it. Rarig clean off the corner. Looks like he's going to come down and get 400 points. Going to be close for 2nd, but I think Miller will claim it, Jeff.
Record flag out. Here's your winner of Unlimited 2A in Tri-Cities, Washington for the E-League drivers, Bo Rarig in the bucket list. The place will go to Quentin Miller. The Graham Trucking, our top qualifier, Cy Bowen, get 3rd, and the Griggs presents Miss Ace Hardware. Oh, I'm sorry. You're right. 3rd place will go to Mickey Washburn. Mickey Washburn will finish 3rd. And there's Travis Johnson. Travis will come across to get 4th.
Yep.
In the J&D. Matt Johnson will get 5th. And Cy Bowen, your top qualifier and gun jumper in this heat, Brad, will get an unfortunate 6th place finish. Bowen will have to look to the 3rd section, and he will desperately need points to try to get to the final heat. Knew this would be competitive from the qualifying. Brad, 3 different winners. I am not surprised.
Yeah, I was just going to say that. We've run 3 heats. We've had 3 different winners, and quite honestly, it has been that way every week when we have raced. We have had multiple winners in the preliminary heats. It just shows how competitive the racing is. Similarly, we've had guys, if they're on those outside lanes, like we saw last time with Cy Bowen and Matt Johnson, these guys, if you're in an outside lane, they really have to push that start. They pushed it a little bit too far, jumped the clock, and ended up 5th and 6th. So to your point, they're going to need points here in our third section of heats. I think we've got Mr. Rarig in the booth with us. Bo, if you can hear us, you got Brad Luce and Jeff Ayler here. Great run in our Heat 2A. Always good to have that Tennessee orange out front.
Oh yeah, thanks guys. It's about dang time the 440 saw victory lane, and I'm just glad I hit that start. And Eddie was spotting for me. I can barely speak right now. I'm so excited. But Eddie was giving me all the tips that I needed. I couldn't have done that without his help.
Well, and the other piece to the puzzle was you had a left side rear view mirror. You were in lane 2. Your left side mirror was full of Bright Red and Quentin Miller. You had to leave him a lane. I commented during the heat, you leave him one full lane plus about 1.5 inches.
Yeah, we've been doing practice heats for many weeks now on this course, and that's what I wanted to do. Because if you can beat the boat on your inside into that first turn and hold him in tight, there's very little chance that he's going to catch you if you just keep doing that.
Jeff, you got a question here for Mr. Rarig?
Yeah, Bo, Jeff Ayler here. Congratulations. What a recovery. 4th and 1B. You come right back and win 2A. You weren't physically in the boat. You're at home in your simulator. You're out of breath.
Exactly. And it's the same feeling. It's a racer's mentality. You whether you're in a real boat, whether you're on a simulator or a car or what have you, it's you get that same adrenaline-filled feeling. And for all the folks that are watching at home, I highly recommend checking out HydroSim. It is great fun.
Well, clearly, go ahead, Jeff. Clearly, you are quite good at it, Bo, and you got 400 big points. You needed them. That's a big step toward putting that putting your boat, the 440, the Tennessee Orange, on that front row of the final. I know that is the end game. You want to be on that front row and try and win this thing.
Absolutely. And it's not over yet. We still have work to do. We still got we got another flight of heats to go. So it's no time to relax now. And before I jump out of here, I just got to thank our series sponsors here. We got to thank Staples, Atomic Screen Printing, Jesse's Stitches, and Spokane Angels Foster Care. We really appreciate all the help that you've done to get this series up and running. And of course, I got to thank Kelly and Sharon Stockland for giving me the opportunity to drive the 440 in the H1 Unlimited E-League.
Well, we're glad to have you on board. Thanks for touching base of our sponsors, because without them, we don't race. Go get yourself a bottle of water and relax, young man. Put the big bullet in the boat. You got one more set of prelims to go.
Will do. Thank you, Brad. Thank you, Jeff.
Bo Rarig, the winner of our Heat 2A. He was talking about some of our sponsors. Jeff, this gives me an opportunity right now to mention that H1 Unlimited is a proud club of the American Powerboat Association, and the APBA is the national authority for boat racing in the United States. The APBA is a member-driven organization established in 1903, and they are headquartered in East Point, Michigan. For more information on the American Powerboat Association, or if you would like to become a member, head over to www.apba.org. That's www.apba.org. Jeff, this racing is not disappointing, and it comes quick. I understand we are inside 10 or 15 seconds to the start of our Heat 2B. 2-1 mark. Just like that, Jeff Ayler, time to go racing again. It's Heat 2B on the Columbia River.
2B participants coming out. 5 boats scheduled here for Unlimited 2B on the virtual Columbia River course. 2.5-mile track here in Tri-Cities, Washington. The first 3 heats we have run, if you just joined us, we've had 3 different heat winners. we will have a fourth different heat winner here, Brad, because I've in here has not been on top yet. Where's your lineup for 2B? We're on board with Eddie Canfouche out of Grand Island, New York, driving the bucket list Miss Rock. Eddie was the third place finisher in Unlimited 1A. Our second participant in Unlimited 2B is Kelsey Best in the Home Street Blue and White. Kelsey out of Mesa, Arizona. Best finished, had an unfortunate, did not finish back in Unlimited 1B. He needs 400 points. His tally up going into the third section. Our third boat, the Dominant Red with the blue and white striping, it is DJ Miller in the Spirit of Detroit. DJ had a third place back in Unlimited 1B. Fourth boat, our game creator out of San Diego, did not finish in 1A. It's Scott Przybylski. Brad, he's looking to score 400 here to get on the board to go to the third section. Our fifth boat is the Gold and Black, Miss Goodman Real Estate. Tim Johnson is the chauffeur. Johnson, fifth place finisher back in Unlimited 1A. Brad, we got guys coming into this one who are really down on points. 400 here could be big ones going into 3A or 3B. These drivers want to win this heat desperately.
Yeah, they certainly do. And you're talking about guys who need points. Probably nobody needs them more than Scott Przybylski driving the U9, the Delta Real Track. Remember, he had an unfortunate incident and blew his boat over in his first heat of the day and scored 0 points. He came into the day, Jeff Ayler, as a reminder, he was our national points leader. But that has evaporated, and that's how quickly it can happen here in our H1 Unlimited E-League Racing presented by Staples. 2:15, Jeff, until the start. You got some trollers down there, and I say keep an eye on Mr. Canfouche in this one.
He's one of the ones down there quickly, already trolling. DJ Miller down on power, followed by Kelsey Best, then Fast Eddie Canfouche. Eddie, of course, the son of Dan Canfouche and Lynn Canfouche. Eddie's father, Dan Canfouche, Dynamite 1-liter pilot, numerous national titles, driving Jewel and Jim Beckler's Fast Eddie 2. We're on board with Scott Przybylski, your game creator. Brad right now with the trollers. Looks like Scott Przybylski's trying to pull a rabbit out of his hat. Maybe he'll come up here with a lot of power at this 1 minute pin and then maybe swing clear to the left to try to get lane number 1. We'll see how it plays out.
Yeah, he has decided not to play the trolling game. Watch the top of your screen on the left. You said, here he comes. Here comes Mr. Przybylski. He's going to bring boat speed to the lower corner inside 10 seconds. Jeff, take him to that 1 minute score up buoy.
For 3, 2, 1, mark. Everyone legal. The 1 minute in, Brad Przybylski did not have enough momentum on that outside to come over. Leading him up is Eddie Canfouche in the bucket list Miss Rock. Looks like he'll be in lane number 3. DJ Miller in 1, Kelsey Best in 2. So right now I've got DJ Miller in 1, Best in 2, Canfouche 3, Tim Johnson in 4, Przybylski on the outside. Brad, we're 30 seconds away until the start.
Yeah, that was a pretty strong run up the backstretch, and I think Fast Eddie Canfouche had visions of maybe getting a jump on these guys coming off of the corner and being able to leapfrog to an inside lane. But Kelsey Best decided that was not going to happen, and they ran hard up the backstretch, but now they're up there early. They're coming off the exit pin inside 10 seconds. Jeff, start our Heat 2B.
But Przybylski could come flying here on the outside for 2, 1, mark, and we'll wait for the official. We got 2 gun jumpers, Scott Przybylski and Kelsey Best, both jumped the gun. They physically are in front here in turn number 1, but we look to the inside. Your leader in the Spirit of Detroit, the red boat, that is DJ Miller. Miller in front, Best physically in front, a lap down. Running order on the track, Brad, is DJ Miller in front. Tim Johnson second in the gold and black Goodman Real Estate. Back in the third position in the orange and black Bucket List Miss Rock is Eddie Canfush in third. But Miller and running against Bess and Prospilski, they still have to navigate, Brad. It could be tight.
Yeah, these are really tight corners, and you saw Tim Johnson there almost get out of shape. The boat slid sideways on him. He almost lost it in the corner, but he was able to hold it. There you see Kelsey Best, your leader on the water. But remember, he is a lap down, having jumped the start. Oh, and now there's talk of an encroachment penalty on Scott Przybylski, so it is proving just to flat not be his day. I'll tell you, the boat I want you to keep an eye on is Fast Eddie Canfush as they come out of this corner. He was running in some slop on an inside lane, but he was able to overtake Tim Johnson. He now runs a solid second place up the backstretch. We are on lap number 2 of 3. Running alongside the Franklin County side of the Columbia River here. Good racing on the water. A couple of boats are dead even, but the boat on the outside, the blue and white one, is a lap down. Your leader on the inside, Nicholas DJ Miller out of Mercer Island. Bring him down and put 2 in the books, Jeff.
Flag displayed, 2 down and 1 more to go for DJ Miller in front. It's a beautiful physical battle on the screen, but the home street blue and white, lap down, Kelsey Best, a gun jumper. Miller in front. Eddie Canfush in second. Tim Johnson in third. Kelsey Best fourth. Scott Przybylski in the 5th position. Brad, we're on the final lap. There is Miller. Best will still get 169. Miller would love these 400 to go with these 225 back in 1B.
Absolutely, and he is halfway up the backstretch now. He knows he does not have to run down Kelsey Best in the Miss Home Street, but he is going to be on the inside of Kelsey. I'm sure Kelsey will give him enough room, but he's just got to navigate through the top end of the race course cleanly here and come down and pick up those 400 points. He is at the exit pin right now. Bring him down, the winner of our Heat 2B, Nicholas DJ Miller, Jeff.
Checkered flag waving, the red boat to the inside. There's your winner of Unlimited 1B here in Tri-Cities, Washington, DJ Miller in Spirit of Detroit. Second place finisher, Eddie Canfush in the Bucket List, Miss Rock. Third position will go to boat number 91, Tim Johnson in the Miss Goodman Real Estate. Scott Przybylski, you see running there with 2 one-lap penalties. There's our third place boat. Tim Johnson coming across to score 225 points in the Miss Goodman Real Estate. And Kelsey Best across to get 4th in the Home Street. And boy, Scott Przybylski, game creator, it's not been his day, will come across to get 127 points, 4 heats, 4 winners. Again, not surprised.
No, not surprising. And you talk about Scott Przybylski having a tough day. He has jumped the gun. He's had an encroachment penalty, and he has blown the boat over. And he's only been on the water twice. That pretty much is the definition of a tough day for our game's creator, Scott Przybylski. So we'll hopefully get a word here with DJ Miller. I want to talk to him a little bit about that run down the backstretch after the score-up buoy. He was on the inside, and it looked to me like Eddie Canfush was going to try and run up there and get a jump on him, but they protected their lanes very well, and he was able to stay tight on the buoy row. And I think we got DJ Miller with us now. DJ, Brad Luce, and Jeff Ayler here. Congratulations on a great run in our Heat 2B.
Yeah, that was I'm lucky a couple guys made some mistakes there and jumped that start, and I was in really good position to take advantage. Would love to thank Bardish and the whole Spirit of Detroit team for this opportunity, and all the sponsors, Staples of Spokane Angels Foster Care, and Atomic Screen Printing. And yeah, that was a lot of fun.
Well, you did a nice job. I wanted to ask you briefly about the run up the backstretch after scoring up at the 1 minute buoy, I thought for a moment that Eddie Canfouche was going to try and come across on you and Kelsey Best, but you protected your lane up the backstretch. But then I noticed that got you up to the top end of the race course really early. That's got to make it tough on your timing marks.
Yeah, like a lot of it is like knowing how much momentum you're carrying. So like what helped me there is that Kelsey was in lane 2 and he had more momentum than I did. So he kind of blocked Eddie a little bit. And then I was going full bore, so I had a lot more momentum going into the turn in turn 2. So I had to really slow it down. But I got off of it when I wanted. So that helped a lot.
Jeff Ayler, you got a question for DJ?
Yeah, DJ Jeff Ayler here. Congratulations with my feather pen and black ink. It looks like you're the point leader going into the third section. Will that change your strategy any going into either 3A or 3B with you being on top in points?
Well, my strategy for the day was to not really go bonsai for heat wins because you don't want to do something that'll cost you. But I saw a good opportunity to have an aggressive move work there to get up and turn 1 early before the score up, and I took it, and it worked out. So hopefully the third heat will go smooth. I'll get a decent finish, and I'll be in the final for sure.
Looks like lane 1 and 2 are priceless here on this virtual Columbia River. They're no doubt gold.
Yeah, it's unless the guys inside don't hit a good start, it's really hard to win from the outside lanes, especially when the final comes around and it's going to be 5 laps.
Well, DJ, thank you very much for taking the time to come up here and talk with us. Good luck in that third section of heat racing. Like you said, hopefully you garner enough points, you find your way on the front row of the final. Go get a drink of water, young man, and we'll see you later on down the road here. It is time now for our draws for our Heat 3, but before we go there, let's say thank you to our sponsors. And first and foremost, the good folks at Staples, just off the Newport Highway in Spokane. Staples, your one-stop shop for all your home and office needs. And today, with the environment being what it is, many of us are operating home offices, and you can't run down to the supply shed to get your things that you need at your desk. Go to Staples. They are, like I said, your one-stop shop for all your home office needs. Spokane Angels Foster Care Community. They've been providing outstanding foster care services in the Spokane area for many years. I'd like to thank them for coming on board with us. Jesse Stitches in Snohomish, Washington, and Atomic Screen Printing in the Tri-Cities. Thanks to all our sponsors. We do not race without them. Jeff Ayler, it's time to do the draw for our Heat 3A and 3B. And for that, I'm going to turn it over to Kelly and Sharon Stockland.
Hi there. Sharon and I are drawing the balls for H1 Unlimited E-League, Heat 3A and 3B. 3A, 11. 3B, 12. 3A, 7. 3B, the 440. 3A, the 3. 3B, 98. 3A, the 9. 3B, 91. 3A, 99.9. 3B, the 6. And 3A, the 21. Enjoy the race.
So there you have it. Thank you to Sharon and Kelly Stockland for their help in doing the draws for our heats 3A and 3B. While that draw was taking place, Jeff Ayler, I know you were working diligently to total up the points. Do you have a quick recap you can throw at us here for where we stand going into this final section of preliminary heats?
Brad, it is tight. E.J. Miller on top right now with 655 points, followed by Eddie Canfush in second with 605. Two drivers tied in third with 599. They are Travis Johnson and Bo Rarig. Mickey Washburn in fifth with 595 points. Your sixth boat right now in points is Matt Johnson with 567 points. Seventh spot, Quentin Miller, 499. Your top qualifier, Cy Bowen in the 3 with 495. Tim Johnson with 382 in the 91. Kelsey Best with 209 in the home street. And Scott Przybylski with 177. He's already in the last chance heat, but will run here up in unlimited. Yay. The points are tight. We've got watch parties all over the world. Want to say hello to Chuck Herring. He's out at the Miss US 4 Boat Shop in Omaha, Nebraska. Chuck, thanks for tuning in.
Here we also have some watch parties going on with some of the race teams here. The U7 Spirit of Detroit Racing Team, they've got their watch party going. Of course, the J&D's U11, they're all together. And seemingly every time we get on the air and start talking about the racing here, we bring up Kelly and Sharon Stockland and the Bucket List team. They are all together. I mentioned a watch party in Oklahoma City in Oklahoma. Send us a note. Let us know where you're watching and how much you enjoy what you're being able to see here today. And Jeff, we've been talking all day long about how competitive this is and how tight everything is. And you just went through the points. I find it interesting that the U12, Graham Trucking and Quentin Miller, along with Kelsey Best and the U6, the Miss Home Street, they are our two previous race winners in the H1 Unlimited E-League. Right now, both of them are on the outside looking in as far as that front row of the final.
Well, they sure are, Brad. We're coming up on the 5-minute gun.
We are inside 10 seconds. 3, 2, 1, mark. Jeff Ayler, 5 minutes. It's Heat 3A. This is the last chance in Heat 3A and 3B for our boats to garner points to make it to the front row of that winner-take-all final. I know you've got the list there. Start us down with a rundown. Who's going to come out here in our Heat 3A?
Boats leaving the pit dock as we look above turn number 1 here on the virtual Columbia River, Tri-Cities Washington Race Course for the E-League drivers. Here with the H1 Unlimited Series. First boat out, we go on board with Mickey Washburn out of Pasco, Washington, driving the Darrell Strong Payne West Insurance entry. 5th in points right now with 595. Our second boat here in Unlimited 3A, our game creator, Scott Przybylski out of San Diego, California. 11th in points with 177. He'll go to the last chance. A practice heat here for our game creator in 3A. Trent Virtual Turbinator. Top qualifier, Cy Bowen out of Plymouth, Indiana. Driving the Griggs Presents Miss Ace Hardware. Cy 8th in points right now with 495. Their watch party from the Go 3 camp. Kirk Duncan, currently watching in Owensboro, Kentucky. 4th entrant, a couple of rooms down from me here in Madison, Indiana, Travis Johnson in the Chartreuse and Carnival Orange, J&D's, the U11. Travis tied in 3rd in points right now with 599. Our 5th entrant, winner just moments ago in Unlimited 2B and currently on top in points with 655 is DJ Miller out of Mercer Island, Washington, driving the U7 Spirit of Detroit. And our final entrant, 17 years of age, out of Grand Island, New York, having the black and Tennessee orange bucket list Miss Rock, Eddie Canfouche. Comes in here second in points with 605. Brad Luce for 2 minutes and 30 seconds until the start. This is your usual view when you work for KONA Radio in Tri-Cities. The games have begun.
The games have definitely begun. The last boat in the picture there, that would be the U3, the Griggs Ace Hardware, and Cy Bowen as he starts to move up a little on the outside. The Turbinator, he carries along a sticker for 610 KONA, and he just made an interesting move there on Fast Eddie Canfouche, who's not going very fast right now. Interesting, you talked about Eddie and the fact that he is second in points on the day so far. It has been a very quiet second place. He's had a strong day, hasn't been out front taking heat wins, but boy, he's had a strong day. Keep an eye on Eddie Canfouche. Coming up on 40 seconds to the 1 minute mark, Jeff. Look at them parked down there. They're fishing down there in the lower corner.
Right, we got Miller, DJ Miller in here, Canfouche, Travis Johnson, Becky Washburn. They're in the top 6 points right now. How cute do they want to get here? I mean, you want to finish. You want to be on the top row.
Look how close they are, Jeff. And they're going to be some pinching down there. The refs are going to have to look at that. Oh, my goodness. Sorry to jump on you, Jeff, but that got tight.
It sure did. Thank you, Brad. Listening for the officials here on the clean score up, and Travis Johnson was up there quickly. Brad, will he cork it to the left? He does!
Yeah, you watch. He's going to come all the way over. He's way out in front in the left, and now he was out there at about lane 4 or 5. Now he's jumped all the way over to lane 1. By my untrained eyes, Jeff, that looked really legal. He had a lot more than a rooster tail as they came up the backstretch. But as we've talked, that gobbles up an awful lot of real estate, and without taking up a whole lot of time, if you're going to go that hard, he got lane 1, but now they're up there very, very early. Looks like the second slot's going to go to DJ Miller in that Spirit of Detroit. Then it's going to be Eddie Canfouche in lane 3 in the 99.9. Then it's going to be Cy Bowen. We are coming up on 10 seconds. They're off the corner. Bring them down, Jeff. It's Heat 3A.
Goodness, Brad, it's only 3A. It's not the final. Here we come. We're 3, 2, 1. Mark appears to be clean. Start. We're racing in virtual 3A here on the Columbia River in Tri-Cities, Washington. DJ Miller in front in Spirit of Detroit. Cy Bowen, your top qualifier, in second in the Turbinator. Travis Johnson, who was in 1, is slipped back. He's in the 5th position. We worked the first of 3 times around. DJ Miller, your leader. Now Eddie Canfouche getting in the mix. Miller in front, Bowen in second, Canfouche in third. Brad, they go into turn 2.
On the first of 3 times around the race course, it is indeed DJ Miller. I don't know what happened to Travis Johnson. He fought hard for that inside lane, but when the clock struck 0, he was nowhere to be found. He was trailing the field as they came across the start-finish line, so he is way back and paying the price. Meanwhile, our leaders out front. Keep an eye on Eddie Canfouche. He's driving between boats. 1 in the books, 2 to go.
Miller in front, DJ Miller, Cy Bowen in the virtual Turbinator in second. Eddie Canfouche battling him on the inside. 2 17-year-old youngsters battling for second. Miller in front, 22 years of age. As we go above, up in turn number 1, Brad Miller in front, and we have got a battle for second. Bowen has got Canfouche to the inside. They're side by side for the 300 points.
Yeah, they really are side by side. Look at them fly the boat. Cy Bowen picking up the right spots and then just hanging it there halfway down the backstretch. He knows there's a reason we call Eddie Canfouche Fast Eddie Canfouche, because he's awfully darn quick, and they've been telling us all day long how important the inside lane is in this type of racing, and Canfouche is on the inside of Bowen. Your leader, DJ Miller, is off the corner, but the race is virtually dead even. Oh, and I think they may have hit. Coming off the corner, Jeff.
Got close. You saw Canfouche get off the throttle momentarily, but he's picked it back up. We're working the final lap here of virtual 3A. In Tri-Cities, DJ Miller in front. Cy Bowen in second. in the Turbinator. Now Canfoosh, Brad, making up ground. They're in between the wake of your leader, DJ Miller, and Canfoosh just came back, and they're side by side off the turn for second.
Yeah, this is going to be a real good run up the backstretch and off the top end of the race course, because right now Eddie Canfoosh is driving on the buoy row where Cy Bowen is having to drive outside the wake of DJ Miller. That's a big advantage for Eddie Canfoosh, but can he make it pay off here on the final turn of this final lap? Same way as it was last time through the corner. DJ Miller is off the turn. He will come down and pick up the 400 points, and Eddie Canfoosh has got the lead, Jeff. Bring him down.
Miller, your winner in the Spirit of Detroit in 3A, and Canfoosh, what a drive up through the field to get second in the bucket list Miss Rock. Cy Bowen will settle for third in the Griggs presents Miss Ace Hardware on the Columbia River. We go on board with Cy. Here is your fourth place finisher, Mickey Washburn, in the Darrell Strong presents Payne West Insurance. Go to the camera for our fifth place finisher. It looks like it'll be Travis Johnson in the J&Ds. With Scott Przybylski in the sixth position. So thank you, Tate. Brad, DJ Miller, 2 heat wins in a row. But boy, what a run by fast Eddie Canfoosh to get second. Top qualifier, Cy Bowen. And by my math, looks like he'll have to go to the last chance to see if the virtual Turbinator would be the train. Oh, we got a development we're hearing, Brad.
Uh-oh.
Brad, did you catch that?
I did indeed. Go ahead, Jeff. Tell our fans we have not a disqualification. We have a 1-lap penalty being assessed
to DJ Miller, your heat winner in the Spirit of Detroit. The watch party for the U7 camp up in Detroit will damper slightly, so that will vault Eddie Canfoosh up to first in the bucket list Miss Rock. Second position will go to Cy Bowen in the Griggs presents Miss Ace Hardware. Third spot now will go to Mickey Washburn. The 21 Darrell Strong presenting Payne West Insurance. Fourth position will go to Travis Johnson in J&D's. Scott Przybylski will move up to fifth in the Delta Real Track, and DJ Miller, the heartbreak here in 3A with that penalty. Your physical winner will get sixth with 95 points. Brad, our winner, is with us, Eddie Canfoosh. Eddie, congratulations. Second physically, you vaulted to first through the penalties. A win is a win.
Well, thank you. Yeah, I was wondering, I just got clarification too of what the penalty was. I was wondering when that happened, what was happening there? Because I was trying to box him in there, and suddenly he was pushing me back out to 4. And, there's rules are rules. You got to follow the rules, so I'll take it. He also kind of helped me out there throughout the heat.
Brad here, Eddie, and a quick question about that. You mentioned that perhaps DJ was helping you out. I made a comment on the third and final lap when you were in third place coming off the lower corner, but your competition there, Mr. Bowen, was having to drive outside of Nicholas Miller, or DJ Miller, but there was enough room on the inside for you to stick it in there, and it ended up paying the dividend. You came home with the win.
Oh, yeah, the whole heat, I was running in the tunnel there. And DJ, I couldn't tell whether Cy was moving in or DJ was moving out. And it looked to me, towards the end of that he was moving out. So coming off of turn 2 there at the end of lap 2, I suddenly saw Cy's boat get real close. And I don't know what it might have looked like on the stream, but on my end, I thought I was about to hit him in hook. So I cranked the wheel hard left and ended up on the inside about half a rooster tail back. So then I was thinking, all right, I'll just settle for third here because I was going to be in the slop. And then DJ kept running in 2. So it's like, all right, I'm going to push it now.
Well, it did look like you guys bumped to us. We weren't sure, but if you didn't, it got awfully, awfully close.
It was scary. I was a little worried when that happened.
Well, we've had you up here in the broadcast booth, but I know now you're enjoying being behind the wheel of one of these things. I made mention before that heat started, Fast Eddie Canfoosh has had a very, very good day, albeit a little bit quiet. I got to think you probably like it that way.
Yeah, I was thinking earlier, the prelims winning preliminary heats is nice, but the final's the one that you want to win. And if you can gather enough points in the prelims just to make the final, that's already a good day. So points is the name of the game here.
There you go. Points. And Eddie, driving for your virtual owners, Sharon and Kelly Stockland. I know you're tickled with that, but boy, what a fun group to be with virtual racing with the Bucket List team. I know they've sent you T-shirts and collectibles. You're part of the team now.
It's awesome. Yeah, no, actually, in the other channel here on Discord, we have them on a watch party. The crew chief, Taylor Evans, he's on his phone going to a Bluetooth, so they have a watch party. They're listening to us on the radios. So, hey, everybody. Thanks for letting me drive your boat. Thanks to KASW and CarStar, and, of course, all our series sponsors, Staples, Atomic Screen Printing, Jesse Stitches, and the Spokane Angels Foster Care.
Eddie, thank you very much. There's only one mountain left to climb for you today. That's the final heat. You're going to be there on the front row. Good luck, my friend. We'll look for you later on.
Thank you very much.
All right, Eddie Canfouche, he'll take a breather now while we run our Heat 3B. Before we do that, I'd like to remind our fans out there that H1 Unlimited is a proud club of the American Powerboat Association, the national authority for boat racing in the United States. The APBA is a member-driven organization established in 1903 and headquartered in East Point, Michigan. For more information on the American Powerboat Association, or if you'd like to become a member and join, they would love to have you, head over to www.apba.org. That's www.apba.org. Also like to take a moment and thank the folks at Staples, 9960 North Newport Highway in Spokane, your one-stop shop for all your home office needs. And speaking of Spokane, I'd like to thank our newest member to the sponsorship group, the Spokane Angels Foster Care Community. They providing outstanding foster care services in the Spokane area. Jeff Ayler, it hasn't been for lack of drama. We got one more heat to go before we start filling out our final field. Let's put 3B on the water and let's go racing.
Coming up on the 5-minute period for 3B.
2, 1, mark. 5 minutes, Jeff Ayler. The boats come away from the dock. That familiar scene there on the Columbia River. Columbia Park in the background there. You see the pit tower there. It was on the right side of the screen, the big Neil F. Lampson blue sign that is hung there forever. And now the boats head across the river, go over to the Franklin County side. And I love as the boats go up the backstretch there, Jeff Ayler, there are a bunch of homes there, but look at all the tents that are popped up on the sideline there. Great view. That's what it looks like in the Tri-Cities.
And here's our boats participating in the virtual 3B here in Tri-Cities on the Columbia River. We're on board with Kelsey Best in the number 6 Smith Home Street, driving for the Citizens of Madison. Kelsey comes in here 10th in points, looking to get a win, get some confidence, and will probably more likely go to last chance. Our second boat out on the water, currently 7th in points, Brad, before we went to the third section with 499. This is Quentin Miller, our winner in Guntersville earlier this year, driving here in the Graham Trucking, the number 12. It's both the gold and black, the Miss Goodman Real Estate, the second entry for Madison, Indiana, here on the virtual E-League Tour and H1 Unlimited. Your driver is Tim Johnson, currently 9th in points, 382. Next boat, the red, white, and blue, the Graham Truck American Dream, currently 6th in points with 567. Matt Johnson is the chauffeur, 29 years of age. And our 5th boat is the Tennessee Orange, the Bucket List Racing. Bo Rarick, the driver, out of Monroe, Washington, comes in here 4th in points with 599. Brad, it's been great working with you here this afternoon. I knew it would be a fun afternoon. We've had 5 heats. We've had 5 different winners. Is number 6 coming up?
It just could very well be. That seems to be the flavor of the weekend. And it looks like we may have, as we said at the outside, are we going to have a third overall winner on the circuit this year in our third race? We may very well. Starting to look that way, but there's still a lot that can happen. 2 minutes and 25 seconds, 2:25 to the start of our Heat 3B. It's the last chance to get points and find your way into the final. Kelsey Best, Quentin Miller, Tim Johnson, Matt Johnson, and Bo Rarig. It's a good field here in 3B. The boats will start scoring up down here at the lower end of the race course. You see them starting to slow down. Bo Rarig there, the boat on the right. You mentioned that Tennessee orange. We've seen a lot of that Tennessee orange so far today. Here comes the Goodman Real Estate, the Miss Goodman Real Estate with Tim Johnson. He goes right down to the race course, goes past Quentin Miller, and now I expect probably just went right in front of Quentin Miller, who is right at the entrance pin to that corner. Still got 40 seconds to kill, and the boat up in front of everybody. There you see it in the lower right-hand corner of your screen. Kelsey Best driving the Miss Home Street, the U6. Bring him to that 1 minute buoy, Jeff.
That is a great aerial shot here from our team of Tate and Jared Meyer. We had virtuals even, Brad, for our aerial flyers, Dave Cooper and Brian Montgomery. A little bit later, we'll show them in their positions. Coming up on the 1 minute period.
Look at Matt.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, mark. Everyone legal, but Brad, look at Matt Johnson out there with a lot of speed. He could come over to at least lane 2 by my eye.
Yeah, I think he could too. You see Kelsey Best there protecting lane 1 on the inside, but I think the 3 boats that were in lanes 2, 3, and 4 are all going to get jumped, and indeed they did. Great move there by Matt Johnson. He took a different strategy into the lower end of the race course. It paid off. He got all the way into lane number 2. It is Kelsey Best sitting in lane number 1. Lane 2 is going to go to Matt Johnson. Lane 3 is Quentin Miller in the 12. Lane 4 is going to be Tim Johnson in the Miss Goodman Real Estate. But look at the clock, Jeff. They just now are inside 18 seconds, now 15 seconds, and they're already off the exit pin. Might be a slow start, Jeff. Bring them down.
Watch for the Tennessee orange on the outside. We're 3, 2, 1. Mark appears to be clean. We're racing number 3B. It was a clean start per our officials as they fly into turn number 1. Your leader, Quentin Miller. But now he has faltered back and looking to the inside. Kelsey Best is your leader in the home street. Brad, I believe that's still Miller on the outside in second. Halfway up the back chute, Best in front. Yes, that is Miller in second. Quentin Miller.
Yeah, I thought he dropped back, but he was able to get himself squared up down in that lower corner, maintain his second place position right outside Kelsey Best. Look at this run down the backstretch. And there is a guy, Quentin Miller, who really needs points. He's had a rough day. 400 would be worth fighting for in this heat. Going to be a tall order running down Kelsey Best. There's our first 2 race winners out front, running 1 and 2, Jeff.
Boy, a fierce battle back in the pack for third. Kelsey Best in front, Quentin Miller in second. Let's get a look at this third place action. We've got Matt Johnson there on the inside in the red, white, and blue 98 in third. And flanked to his outside is Tim Johnson and Bo Rarig, all 5 in turn number 1. Best in front, Quentin Miller in second. Now, Brad, Matt Johnson getting a charge up in third. We're halfway through 3B.
Yeah, it's really tough on Matt Johnson. He held his lane between boats through most of that corner, then slid out a little bit wide, got a little bit wet, but he's able to push it back to an inside lane. They got the camera right on him. Meanwhile, you can see up front, it is all Kelsey Best, U6, Miss Home Street, and he's trailed up there by Quentin Miller, driving the Graham Trucking the U12 off the top end of the race course. Jeff, they'll come down and pick up that white flag, meaning 1 more to go in our Heat 3B.
Complete 2 1/2 miles to go to victory for Kelsey Best in front in the Home Street Bank. Quentin Miller second, Graham Trucking. Now Brad, Tim Johnson as he moved into second, tough here by the angle. Best in front. We go above in turn number 1. Still in second. Now Tim Johnson has moved in to third, but Brad, he has to go way outside because of Miller's wake, and we got brothers battling for third on the final lap.
Yeah, keep an eye on Matt Johnson. This is just what we saw with Eddie Canfush in the previous heat. He's back in the pack fighting this crowd, but he's able to do it on an inside lane. And because of the lines that the others are taking through the corners, he's able to get some clean water in there as he flies the boat up the backstretch, settles it down into the corner. Going to try and run him down. Bring our leader down for 400 points. It's Kelsey Best, Jeff.
Winner Kelsey Best in the Home Street Bank in 3B. Quentin Miller will get second in the Graham Trucking. Let's look back to third. Can we have another heater? No, it will go to Tim Johnson, I believe, on the outside in the Goodman Real Estate. Tim Johnson does get third per our officials. Matt Johnson in fourth, and Graham Trucking in fifth position, Brad. And I think he played it smart, was Bo Rarig in the bucket list. He came in here fourth in points, and I think he was just looking to score to crack the top six of the final. Kelsey Best, though, a confidence booster, more than likely will go to the last chance. We'll get the tallies after the 3B is finished. But boy, a great run by Kelsey Best, and great battling there in the back of the pack for third in this one, Brad.
Yeah, there was some good battling in this one all the way through it. You called it one time, I believe it was the lower end of the race course, in turn one on lap two. You had all 5 boats down there at one time, and there was some close racing. I was really impressed with the way the drivers were able to hold their line through the corner. You know, the officials watch that so closely to see if you encroach on somebody's lane, if you slide out, if they come in. Looked really clean through the corners, and it's not easy with that many boats going that fast. And as we said at the outset of the program, it can get really rough down there in that turn one. Great job of driving by all the guys. I suspect Kelsey Best will be pretty happy. He needed points. He just got 400 of them.
Had 6 heats, 6 winners. Thank goodness my scorer is here to the right of me, Steve Edwards. He's working the feather pen in black ink. Hope to get a tally here, but we see Kelsey Best enters the room, Brad, and he'll be happy.
He'll be very happy. Kelsey, Brad Luce here, and Jeff Ayler. How are you, my friend? Congratulations. You're the winner of our Heat 3B.
Yeah, thanks, Brad. Thanks, Jeff. Yeah, I am happy. It's the day did not start out like we wanted to, obviously. I just made a mistake. I'm racing with some new equipment. I got a cool ultra-wide monitor in that first heat and was looking down at my timer and just started drifting. So yeah, that was just all on me, unfortunately. So it's been a long road back. Glad to get a heat win, obviously. It's always good to talk with you guys and get the Home Street Bank boat out there for the cameras. That's always the goal.
Well, I made the comment at the outset of our program here today that 5 weeks ago, the last time you guys were on the water competitively in this H1 Unlimited E-League, you were standing atop the podium with the oldest active motorsports trophy in the world. Today, you're struggling to find a way on the front row of the final. It speaks to the competition of all of these guys and their boats.
Yeah, definitely, Brad. Like we talked about last time, any single person in any one of these heats can win, as kind of becoming evident. Yeah, you know, I kind of wish we would have raced soon after Madison and be able to take some of that momentum. Not racing for 4 or 5 weeks, kind of almost forgot about it. I didn't, obviously, but yeah, it's been interesting. I've had a lot of fun with Jimmy and Jeff, helping them out for the drivers' invitationals in between now and then. So it's still been a lot of fun. But yeah, hopefully we can go win the Connie. I'm guessing I'm in the Connie, and maybe have a chance in the final. This is the first time I've actually raced this course in this game, so it's been interesting for me trying to get used to it.
Well, I know our Jeff Ayler is putting pen to paper. He's got people there helping him. He's got a calculator in his hand and an abacus in front of him. But let's see if Jeff has run any numbers here. You got a question for Kelsey, and can you tell him where he stands in the points, Jeff?
Oh, Kelsey, congratulations. You're exactly right. You'll go the last chance by our tallies here, and these are unofficial. But one question for you before you go to the last chance. How valuable was your inboard hydroplane driving experience going into this virtual E-League racing? at home on the simulator.
Yeah, having been in a real boat is always, I guess, going to be an advantage if you never have. Like you've heard from a lot of the drivers who actually drive Unlimiteds. I didn't drive Unlimiteds. The boats do handle slightly, pretty differently, and they accelerate differently and all that. But as far as going around timing a start, when I raced 1 liters, it was all one minute score ups. So I'm very used to the strategy here, which obviously helps. But at this point in time, I think everyone's gotten a lot of practice, and I don't know that it's much of an advantage anymore.
Well, Kelsey, we have talked to Jimmy Shane a couple of times over the last few weeks, and he still maintains that driving this E-League boat is more difficult than driving the real Miss Home Street. So maybe a drive in the Unlimited is in your future.
I don't know if my wife Danielle would want me to do that, and I don't know if I have the huevos to do that either. Those guys are the real deal. I just do want to have a shout out to Jimmy and Jeff. Obviously, have a lot of fun over the past couple of weeks. Thank you to Home Street Bank and Citizens of Madison and again for their support of our sport. Thanks to Staples, Atomic Screen Printing, Jesse Stitches, and Spokane Angels Foster Care for supporting obviously these events. They're a lot of fun for us. Hopefully the folks out there and enjoying them. And like I said to my wife Danielle, shout out for her as well. I won't be getting an Unlimited anytime soon.
Let's make that real clear, okay? Oh, God. Well, congratulations. I know you got to go get ready to run in the Provisional here. We'll wish you the best of luck there. Thanks for putting on such a great show today. We'll look for you to have some more luck as you get running in the Connie coming up next. Thanks, Kelsey.
Thank you, Brad. Thanks, Jeff.
So the boats in our consolation heat are going to be spoken in my ear. We'll try and repeat them as we go down the list. We've the U6, Miss Home Street with Kelsey Best. DJ Miller with the U7, Spirit of Detroit. The Goodman Real Estate, U91, Tim Johnson. The 9, Scott Przybylski in the Delta Real Track. And Bo Rarig, unfortunately, did not make the front row of the final. He will be in our Provisional. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 boats will run. They are running for the opportunity to become the trailer boat in the final heat. So we'll have 6 boats on the front row. We'll have a 7th boat trailing the field across the start-finish line in the final. And that will be the winner of our consolation heat, which is coming up next. It is Kelsey Best, it is Scott Przybylski, DJ Miller, Tim Johnson, and Bo Rarig.
Wow, Brad. We knew from qualifying earlier today it was going to be tight. And boy, a couple of drivers that I thought would make the final, especially on points. I thought Bo Rarig was locked in. He's not. He has to go to the Provisional. And the winner of the Provisional will be the trailer boat. So
that's a tough road to hoe.
It's going to be a tough obstacle to overcome. You're in this racing here, this E-League trailer position final. About the only chance you've got is everyone either jumping the gun or unfortunate mistakes during the running. It's going to be tough to win from the trailer, but they'll give it a go here in the last chance, and they'll accept that 7th position in the final.
Absolutely. It's rough, it's dangerous, and not a whole lot of hope for a win, but they will go out and run it. So coming up on the 5-minute mark, we're going to go 3 laps. The winner of this heat will go into the final. We are 2 seconds, 1 mark. 5 minutes to the start of the Provisional. You hear drivers and Jeff Ayler and myself referring to it as a Connie, short for consolation. But there is a prize. You get to run in the final heat. One more time, Jeff Ayler. Here come the race boats out on the beautiful blue waters of the Columbia River as it flows past the Tri-Cities of Pasco, Richland, and Kennewick. They leave the pit area on the Kennewick side of the river, go up the backstretch on the Pasco side of the river, and if somebody wanted to forget to turn left at the top end of the race course and just keep going up the river, you would eventually get to Richland. 4 minutes and 15 seconds. Jeff, run down our boats one more time.
We go on board with Bo Rarig out of Monroe, Washington, driving here the 440 Bucket List Racing Tennessee Orange. Looking for our second entrant. There he is. That is Nicholas DJ Miller, 22 years of age, out of Mercer Island, Washington, driving the U7 of Detroit, the watch party going on in the Motor City for camp number 7. Third entrant, the Home Street Blue and White, Kelsey Best, driving for the citizens of Madison, Indiana, and Brad Luce, I know, various watch parties here in the city of Madison here for the virtual Tri-Cities Washington race. Fourth entrant, Madison, Indiana, again, their second entry, the Gold and Black Miss Goodman Real Estate. Tim Johnson aboard, 23 years of age, from right there in Richland, Washington. Our fifth entrant, our game creator out of San Diego, California, Scott Przybylski, 4 years of age. Brad, the game creator, I know wants to win, to maybe win from the trailer position in the final heat.
Yeah, he certainly does. And if you think he has an advantage because he is the game's creator, he will tell you quite pointedly, you are mistaken. It is a very difficult game to operate. It is very difficult to control one of these boats. And like he says, these other competitors spend more time than he at practicing and getting ready to do this sort of thing. He has, in his words, no advantage whatsoever, having been the game's creator. And you made a comment there going down the boats. You talked a little bit about the Miss Goodman Real Estate, the U91 Tim Johnson's ride, as we look at Scott Przybylski and Bo Rarig going up the backstretch there. Jeff Ayler, I'm dying to see that U91 Goodman Real Estate in person. I really like that black and gold color scheme.
I love the artwork on that one, created by Mr. Montgomery. I believe Craig Montgomery came up with the artwork on the 91 Goodman Real Estate, and had a lot of people back home here are anxious to see the second entry for Madison, Indiana on the 2021 H1 Unlimited Series when we get back to real racing action, we hope, next season. But that is a dynamite paint scheme. I kind of like the effect on the cowling.
Yeah, I made mention the first time our first H1 Unlimited E-League regatta, that it was a bit of a throwback, if you will, to the Mr. Fabricator and the Budweiser malt liquor, the black and gold. Anyway, we're coming up on 10 seconds until the 1 minute mark. We better get them to this exit pit.
See the aerial from above virtual Columbia River Race Course for 2-1 mark. Score up period. Przybylski on the outside. Tim Johnson in the gold and black Goodman Real Estate. DJ Miller to his inside in the red craft. Kelsey Best right there in the Home Street Blue and White. Brad, they're going to turn 2. They're getting there quickly. We're still 40 seconds away.
Yeah, they certainly are. They had to run hard up there to protect that lane. And by protecting the lane, we're saying that you don't let somebody get far enough out in front of you to where they can move over on you. So you have to run hard and protect it. That's exactly what was done right there. But to your point, still 25 seconds until the start. Maybe Bo Rarig on the far outside is going to be the boat who can come down here with the most boat speed, tie everybody and take them to the turn, as Bill Muncie used to say. But we're coming up on 10 seconds to the start. It is our provisional. We're racing to win a spot in the final, Jeff. Let them go.
3, 2, 1. From that angle, from the infield, it appears to be, it is a clean start. We're racing in the last chance. Here in Tri-Cities, Washington, we got a triple decker going into turn number 1 on lap number 1. Make it a quadruple decker with Rarig trailing back. We come through the turn. DJ Miller on the inside, and to his outside hip is Tim Johnson. Brad, they're side by side.
Yeah, DJ Miller has his hands full of two race boats, both owned by the citizens of Madison, Indiana. You mentioned a watch party. They are hooting and hollering for the boats in lane 2 and lane 3. DJ's got his hands full. Now watch the lines through the corner here. Nice, clean run through the corner. But right now it is Tim Johnson providing the most pressure. He is in lane 2. They come down and put one in the book, Jeff.
This is awesome. The winner will be the trailer in the final. They're side by side after lap number 1. It's DJ Miller in front, making a half a boat length over Tim Johnson in second in the Goodman Real Estate. Beautiful shot there as they enter turn number 1 on the virtual Columbia River Racecourse. And as you say, you can throw a blanket over them. They're that tight in first. Miller on the inside, Johnson on the outside. Brad, we're halfway through it. It's going to be a shootout to the finish.
And as far as that blanket, it could be a small blanket because they are literally tied together. And look how both of them are flying the boats down the backstretch. This is like real boat racing. You want to go fast, you got to pack more air underneath it. But just like the real McCoy, you put too much air underneath it and you will be over. Good corner up there for DJ Miller. The inside lane bought him. And now we've got, did he hold on to it? Not sure. Didn't appear to be. He went over. Tim Johnson is out of it. They got close together. 2 are in the books, Jeff, and what was a great heat has now come down to a bit of a parade.
Brad, DJ Miller, and Tim Johnson was pressing the envelope in second in the Goodman Real Estate. He got that left sponson right in the wash of the 7. I expect no penalties on DJ Miller. So Miller in front, Best in second, Rarick in third. Brad, half a lap to go. The Detroit Watch Party now have an entrant as a trailer in the final heat, it appears.
If they can navigate the top end of the race course one more time, that will be the case. DJ Miller driving the 7, the Spirit of Detroit. He is through the corner. He's at the apex, and now he will maybe slide it out a little bit. You'll see the exit buoy go by him. There it is. Bring him home, Jeff. DJ Miller.
Here's your trailer boat for the final heat. Coming up in a matter of moments, your winner, the last chance, DJ Miller in the Spirit of Detroit, Tri-Island Energy, Detroit Machinery Center. Second position, it will be Kelsey Best in the Miss Home Street. Bo Rarig will cross to get third in the Tennessee Orange Bucket Racing. Scott Przbilski, Brad will get fourth in the Delta Real Track. And unfortunately, you saw Tim Johnson had the accident, the blowover in the number 91 Miss Goodman Real Estate with the did not finish. So Brad, DJ Miller transfers to the final. Bad news, he'll be a rooster tail back at the start, but it's virtual racing, real hydroplane racing. Anything can happen.
Absolutely, and I think I might want to make a public apology here to Tim Johnson of the Miss Goodman Real Estate. As the boats got into the upper corner just before he lost control of the U-91, I was commenting about the fact it's so realistic that they were flying the boats, but if you fly it too high and get too much air underneath it, over you will go, and over he went. But boy, was he pushing the envelope. It really shows how these guys value running in the final, albeit at the trailer position. It's worth fighting for, and they went out and fought for it. But congratulations to our winner of the heat, and we will look for DJ Miller now in the final.
Brad, the final heat coming up, the only chance of a repeat winner so far early on in the H1E League Series would be Quentin Miller, as Kelsey Best failed to make the final. So we have a new winner here in the E-League Series coming up in just a bit.
And the fact that every time we run one of these preliminary heats, we get a different winner, anything can happen. Quentin Miller has as good a shot as anybody at being our first repeat winner on the H1 Unlimited E-League Racing Series presented by Staples. So don't go away. Anything can happen. We are just about ready to go racing here in our final heat. And a reminder, it will be a 5-lap affair, winner take all. I'll
Brad,
take
we'll
this
keep it here
opportunity to.
momentarily. We got some A, B, and C, and 1, 2, 3s to tie together before we go to the final heat for the virtual E-League race here on the Columbia River in Tri-Cities, Washington. We want to thank everybody for watching worldwide. Brad, as always, it's great working with you. It's been so fun today. I was looking forward to this. We had fun on Sunday, and I got a kind of funny feeling that Tate Meyer and Jared Meyer and Shannon Rainey and Scott Rainey and Emily Rainey, they've thrown this big, long fishing line with bait on it, 3,000 miles to Rikers Ridge. I think they've got me hooked into it. I like it.
Well, little did you know, Jeff, that was the plan. So glad you took the bait. And it's great to have you here. You and I have had so much fun. We have been so fortunate, Jeff, with what we've been able to do, boat racing and real racing. And we've had so much fun working together over the years, both on the APBA limited inboard category races, but also, gosh, 10 or 11 times together at the APBA Gold Cup. It's just been a real honor to get to know you and have this fun. And didn't look like we were going to get to do any of it this summer, but then this idea came up for this E-League, the H1 Unlimited E-League Racing Series presented by Staples. And this has just been a blast. I'm really glad to have you on board.
Brad, also, too, I think we're getting close to that final heat. Brad, before we go to that final heat, how about a shout out one more time to our sponsors here for the Tri-Cities event?
Absolutely. We say it all the time, but it is so very true. That's why it is worth us taking a moment and thanking our sponsors, because without them, this doesn't happen. And we'll start with an organization that has been with us since day one here, the good folks at Jesse's Stitches in Snohomish, Washington. That's just north of Seattle, just up I-5 a little bit. And east of Everett is Snohomish, Washington. Jesse's Stitches. They've been in business since 1990, so they've been at it for 30 years. They know what they're doing, and they do custom embroidery and more. Jesse's Stitches, thank you. I think the name Atomic Screen Printing is known by so many people. So many of us wear T-shirts with hydroplanes on them during the summertime, and chances are quite good those come from Atomic Screen Printing in the Tri-Cities. They are a leading Northwest producer of high-quality screen printed and embroidered products. They have been in business, the Walden family, since 1998. Also like to thank Staples, our lead sponsor here at 9960 North Newport Highway in Spokane. For those of you not familiar with the real estate around here, Spokane is on the far eastern side of the state of Washington. You leave Seattle on I-90, that's right where it starts, and you go 6 miles short of the border with Idaho, you will run into the great little town of Spokane. And on the Newport Highway, that's where you'll find Staples, the one-stop shop for all your home office needs. Also want to thank our newest sponsor to the group today, Spokane Angels Foster Care Community. These great folks up there are providing outstanding foster care services in the Spokane area, and they have been at it for a number of years. They know what they're doing. Spokane Angels Foster Care Community. Time to go racing, Jeff. Let's put 6 boats out there. Let's make it 7 just for good measure. And let's get a winner to this boat race here. 3 seconds, 2, 1, mark. We've
Brad,
got 5. Oh, sorry, Jeff.
You go right ahead, my friend.
Now we're inside 5 minutes. Bring them away from the dock.
That's the sight Brad always sees when the boats leave for the final heat, working for KONA for Tri-Cities Washington race. We got 7 of them leaving, and Brad and Tate and all of you listening at home, they've already cranked them up.
Yeah, that is such an awesome view. And the virtual racing here, this game that Scott Krzybilski has developed, there's something about that view in the final when those boats come away from the dock, because right there where the Griggs Ace Hardware was running, he was running due west up the backstretch, looking into a setting sun. And I always make the comment, you have 7 H1 Unlimited hydroplanes coming away from the dock in a late afternoon sun. It is a sight that if you've never seen it, stick it on your bucket list and come to the Tri-Cities. It is worth the visit. Inside 4 minutes, Jeff Ayler, 3 minutes and 50 seconds. Let's run down the boats in our final heat.
Here is your lineup. The first of 7 virtual owners are Sharon and Kelly Stockland. It's the U99.9 Bucket List Miss Rock. 17-year-old Eddie Canfouche drives out of Grand Island, New York. Second boat out on the track, virtual owners Greg and Brian O'Farrell. It's the U21 Daryl Strong presents Payne West Insurance. Mickey Washburn, 41 years of age, driving from nearby in Pasco, Washington. Our third entrant, the virtual owner, Ed Cooper, out of Evansville, Indiana, a native of Madison. It's the Turbinator, driven by 17-year-old Cy Bowen, out of Plymouth, Indiana. It's the U3 Griggs presents Miss Ace Hardware. Fourth entrant, the Chartreuse and Carnival Orange, virtual owners Shannon and Scott Rainey, now out of Cle Elum, Washington. Boat driver, 2 rooms down from Madison, Indiana, Travis Johnson. Fifth entrant, virtual owner Rob Graham out of Seattle. It's the U12 Graham Trucking. Quentin Miller, 25 years of age, driving out of Mercer Island, Washington. Quentin Miller, a professional bowler by trade. Out of Detroit is the Spirit of Detroit, DJ Miller, the driver. Quentin's brother, out of Mercer Island, Washington, driving for the virtual owner, Dave Bardish. DJ, 22 years of age. There he is, our final entry, the red, white, and blue boat, the virtual owner, Rob Graham. Matt Johnson, the chauffeur, 29 years of age, out of Renton, Washington. Brad, that's our 7 boats. 6 on the front row. Our trailer boat will be number 7 of DJ Miller, 1:30 until the start. Here we go.
Yeah, look what just happened right there. You got Quentin Miller sitting in lane number 1, parked down there in lane 1. Granted, it is early, but then there was a great move made by Cy Bowen as he pulled up alongside Travis Johnson and then moved to the left and put Travis into lane 3. Keep an eye on Eddie Canfouche inside 10 seconds to the 1.
On 1 minute. Everyone was legal, it appears, at 1. Team score up, Brad. There is Matt Johnson. We saw this earlier today. Powered it, and he is textbooked over to lane number 1. Looks like he'll secure it. 45 seconds away, but Brad, with those maneuvers, they will be super early on the clock.
Yeah, still 37 seconds until the start, but what a move by Matt Johnson. He pulled it off early in the day. He has made it work again. But now there's 30 seconds until the start. So now the boats are up there. They're going to start getting real tight in there. Looks like Eddie Canfouche might be in lane number 2. This could be very, very interesting. They've already crossed the entrance pin to turn 2. They got to hold their lane. They're off the corner, Jeff, and there's just now 10 seconds.
That time went quick up in turn number 2. Here we come to the line. We're 3, 2, 1. Mark, it appears to be a clean start. We're racing in the final virtual Tri-Cities Washington race on the Columbia River. It was a clean start as they fly into turn number 1. Eddie Canfouche there first in the bucket list Miss Rock as we go up above. Canfouche in front. Matt Johnson and Mickey Washburn battling for second. Brad up the back chute, Canfouche in front, but Johnson and Washburn are charging.
Yeah, he's got the lead up the backstretch, but it's a tenuous lead at best, and he has boats in both the left side and the right side rear view mirror. And remember, fans, we're going 5 times around the race course this time. Eddie Canfouche, top end of the race course, got to leave a room in there for Matt Johnson. He does, and he is off the turn. He will come down and put the first of 5 laps on this 2.5-mile oval on the Columbia River in the books. Jeff, he's right in front of you.
Our longest heat of the afternoon, 1 complete, 4 to go. Canfouche in front. He's driving Johnson clean on the inside in the Graham Trucking American Dream. The 99.9 in front, the 98 in second. Mickey Washburn trailing back a little bit now in the number 21. Your top 2 carving out turn number 1. Johnson, what a turn on the inside. Brad, a lap and a half in, 3.5 to go. It's anybody's race up in the front.
The drivers have told us over and over again how important it is to be on that inside lane. But if you get back a little bit, you've got to hold that line through the corner. That's the hardest part. It's a double-edged sword. Now look at Eddie Canfouche on the outside, leaving a lane for Matt Johnson. But this is really good racing, and Johnson's doing an excellent job of holding that tight lane on the inside. We got to go 3 more laps just like this, Jeff.
2 complete, 3 to go. In the virtual Tri-Cities Washington event for the E-League pilots with H1 Unlimited. Fast Eddie Canfouche, 17 years of age, out in front, driving a dandy in lane number 2. Matt Johnson, Canfouche swung out a little bit. Johnson tightened it up. Mickey Washburn remains in third. But your battle for this one, it's for the checkered flag. It's up front. We're halfway through the virtual Tri-Cities Washington race in E-League. Brad, it's Canfouche in front. Can he hang on?
Boy, can he hang on. This run up the backstretch looks like the same thing we saw on lap 1 and lap 2. This is as good as it gets in H1 Unlimited E-League Racing presented by Staples. Matt Johnson doing a whale of a job hanging on to that lane 1. Canfouche says you're going to be in there. I'm going to hold you in tight. But look at him hold the line. They're going to come down and put 3 in the books, Jeff.
Fabulous dueling in this virtual final on the Columbia River. 3 complete, 2 to go, and Eddie Canfouche flies the Tennessee orange and black. Bucket list Miss Rock in front. Boy, Johnson not giving up, flying the red, white, and blue. Graham Trucking American Dream in second. We go with Matt Johnson. Canfouche driving. Oh, Johnson got a little bit wet there off the wing. Had to get off the throttle and recovers. Brad, we're 3.5 in, 1.5 to go. Can Johnson recover to make up ground in second?
He did lose a little bit of ground there down in that lower end of the race course. I think that was a matter of him sliding out, not so much Eddie moving in on him. I think it was all legal down there. It's just tight and difficult to hold that line. He's got to do it again now at the top end of the course, but he's only 4 boat rakes back. So he's going to come down and put 4 in the books. White flag flies, Jeff, with this 1 more lap to go.
Well, they're getting around here rapidly in this virtual Columbia Cup final heat. Tri-Cities, Washington. Eddie Canfouche in front in the bucket list Miss Rock. And now he extends it out, make it about 3/4 of a rooster tail over Matt Johnson in second. In the Graham Trucking American Dream as we go above in turn number 1. Eddie Canfouche. There's Johnson. There's the view. Brady's run out of time. Half a lap to go to victory for the 99.9.
If he's got a trump card up his sleeve, he being Matt Johnson, he better play it right now. Otherwise, our victory is going to go to Eddie Canfouche. Got to negotiate the top end of the race course 1 more time. He gets to the entrance pin to the corner. Now he's at the apex. Slide it out, leave enough room. Jeff Ayler, bring home our apparent winner. It's going to be Eddie Canfouche.
Columbia River, the virtual site, Tri-Cities, Washington. Here's your winner on the 3rd stop of the E-League Driver Series and H1 Unlimited, Eddie Canfouche in the 99.9 bucket list Miss Rock. Second place will go to Matt Johnson in the U98 Graham Trucking American Dream with camera angle. Here is our 3rd place finisher. Bowen in the Griggs presents Miss Ace Hardware. The virtual Turbinator hits the board in the 3rd position. Eddie Canfouche not even taking a cool-off lap. He's wanting to get back in to celebrate with Mom and Dad. Dad and Dan and Lynn Canfouche in Grand Island, New York. Brad Luce, what a final.
That was awesome. I mean, I say in any form of boat racing, and of course it's the best in H1 Unlimited racing, but in any form of racing, you get two boats or two cars or two horses and you get them side by side battling it out. It doesn't get any better than that. We just saw 5 laps of virtually side by side racing. I think we've got Eddie Canfouche in here with us now. Eddie, congratulations. But boy, you had to work for it, my friend.
Oh my god, thank you so much. I'm a little hyped up right now, a little shaky. That was oh yeah, no, Matt was there the whole time. It was kind of difficult, and here we are.
It was more than kind of difficult. It was a lot
Yeah.
difficult, but you were going to make it as difficult on Matt as you could legally. And you did. I kept talking about watch the line through the corner. You were giving him a lane and no more, but he kept holding it. He was able to hold that line with you.
It was so tough. Matt's really, really good at holding lane one, so huge props to Matt for that awesome race. And there were a few corners. I was trying to square the corners off coming out to try to make him scrub some more speed. And there were a few times I didn't do that so well, and he gained a bit more ground, and then I had to outfly him down the straightaway. And and then there was one point where I think he slid out just a little bit, and I didn't give him any more than he needed. So I think he got into my tail a little bit, and I got a little farther ahead. And I can't stop talking.
No, it's awesome, Eddie, and I know you have won in this type of racing before, but this is the first year of the H1 Unlimited E-League. This is your first victory in that particular league. It is the third winner in 3 races. This is something special, isn't it?
It's so incredibly special. Obviously, the situation we're in to where the E-League is a thing at this point isn't ideal for everyone. I know everyone's missing real racing. This weekend, I was actually supposed to be in Valleyfield right now, but I'm glad we get to do this. Huge thanks to our series sponsors, Staples, Atomic Screen Printing, Jesse Stitches, and Spokane Angels Foster Care, and of course KISW and CarStar for sponsoring the Bucket List Boat, Bucket List Racing, the Stocklands, everyone there for letting me drive it. I don't think I've been this excited in a while.
Yeah, I was just thinking there's probably a good shout out that needs to be given to the Bucket List Racing Watch Party. I'm sure they're hooting and hollering up there in Snohomish.
Oh, no doubt. I was talking to Taylor before the final again. He hopped in and we were talking to him, and I'm sure they're happy. I know I am.
You should be. We've got Jeff Ayler on here too. I've worked a little bit with Eddie Canfouche, and he's pretty articulate and likes to talk a lot, but never quite this much, Jeff. He's pretty excited.
Eddie, congratulations. Winner of the E-League race here in Tri-Cities on the Columbia River. And wow, what a far cry from when I met you when you were born back in the mid-2000s. From diapers now to an E-League winner with hydroplane racing. I'm sure Mom and Dad will be tickled.
It's been a long time, huh? I think I have a file on my computer that's you interviewing my dad about 6 months after I was born. And here we are. They came down after the final. We high-fived and everything. Now they're upstairs listening to this interview. So hi, Mom.
Don't ever forget that part of the interview, Eddie. It's very important.
Yes, very important.
Brad,
Jeff, go ahead.
Driver, this is a real intense series. I wanted to thank Travis Johnson for having me out again. Travis, you had a good day. I know you wanted to be a little bit higher on the podium, but one of the reasons why I wanted to bring it up, Brad, Travis has kind of come out from his simulator racing room. This is intense. I can see right now in his face, he has to cool down some. He needs to walk off the racing energy being on the simulator. All 11 of our drivers today, thank you. And trust me, Brad, you know, and I know now, this E-League racing, it's intense.
It is intense, and it doesn't make any difference whether it's the E-League or it's 1 liters or it's 5 liters. Anybody that gets behind the wheel of any kind of boat or racing vehicle, similar and even including our virtual racing, by their nature, the drivers are competitive, and they're not going to do it just because it's fun. If they're going to take the time to sit down and try and make it go fast, they're going to do it for one reason, and that's to win. And they're going to fight you tooth and nail all the way. And we saw as good a day of racing as we have seen so far this year. Eddie, I know you're still hanging here with us. I think from Jeff Ayler and myself, that was one of the better heats we've seen. We got all 5 laps out of it with you guys just hammering on each other. You had to be on top of your game. You pulled it off. Congratulations, Eddie Canfouche.
Thank you so much. This is super cool.
Well, you deserved it. You had to earn it. You had to work for it. We'll thank Eddie Canfouche. Jeff Ayler, I will throw it to you right now. Any closing comments you would like to make about our 2020 H1 E-League Series race from the Tri-Cities presented by Staples? Any comments you want to make about the racing?
Well, Brad, as always, great working with you. And thanks to everyone with H1 Unlimited behind the scenes putting this on. Tate, Jared Meyer, phenomenal job. Shannon Rainey, our boss. Thank you, Shannon. Scott Rainey, Emily Rainey. It's been something to put on. I'm looking over at Travis Johnson. Do I get the thumbs up to come back out for the drivers? I've already got it, Brad.
Perfect.
He took them in.
Well, Jeff Ayler, it is, as we've said, and won't go too far down the mutual admiration highway here, but it is always a pleasure to work with you. Thank you for joining us these last couple of weeks and today on the H1 Unlimited E-League Racing Series presented by Staples. You're the best. It's great to have you on board. I want to echo your sentiments of thanking our producer engineers today, Jared and Tate Meyer. Just trust me, please, when I say you have no idea how hard these two particular individuals work to support, produce, and put content together for H1 Unlimited on so many different levels. Thank you to Tate and Jared. You mentioned the Rainey family for all they do, Scott, Shannon, Emily, the whole family. This is part of the inner workings of H1 Unlimited. And if you knew what they were doing this weekend and the project they have undertaken with moving not only their home, but their shop halfway across the state of Washington, but still always finding time out to make sure this race is a success, thanks to them. Our congratulations to Ed Canfouche. He is the winner here from our H1 Unlimited E-League Racing Series on the Columbia River in the Tri-Cities. Next up on the H1 Unlimited E-League Racing Series presented by Staples is Saturday, August the 15th. The website may say a different date. It may say the 8th, but it is Saturday, August the 15th, and we will be in Seattle, Washington on beautiful Lake Washington. I know I'm going to be there. So will Jeff Ayler. We hope you will be too. Until then, stay safe. Good night, everybody.